And speaking of the library, one of its newest programs is the Community Learning Kitchen. I'm here today with Tiffany Muranaka, who is the coordinator of the Community Learning Kitchen. Tiffany, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I know you were here about a year ago at the very beginning of the Community Learning Kitchen, but for those who haven't heard of it, tell us, what's its mission?
So the Knox County Community Learning Kitchen is sponsored by the library. We also have a grant from the Indiana Department of Health, and it's just a great program that Emily Bunyan, the director of the library, just came up with. She had seen this been done in other places around the country, and so she wanted to bring it here for Knox County. And basically the mission is just to promote wellness and nutrition in the community through basic nutrition and cooking skills that maybe some people in this community could just use more of. So yeah, that's what we do. We come to people in the community to give them these skills and this nutrition and wellness education.
Okay, yeah. We just learned about the Grow City Teaching Garden, and how do you have to use the produce that comes from there, or do you sometimes use it, get it from other places? What do you do with that?
We have no prejudice against any place to get fresh produce. I mean, if we can get it from the garden, we love to, of course, get it fresh from the garden. They're so great to work with us, and we've actually done programs there. We've brought kids into the garden to teach them where our food comes from. Sometimes we get produce there. We also get it from our local grocery stores, as well as the farmers market. Those are probably the main places that we like to get our produce from.
Right. And I know you just talked about your presentations. So where have you been giving presentations at over the last year?
So really, where haven't we not? I mean, we've been all over the county, which has been so fun, and we've had so many wonderful people be willing to collaborate with us. Recently, this summer, we collaborated a lot with you and also with the library, and we were at the library for their kids programs, and we taught them how to make their own microwave popcorn and some other healthy snacks that they could make at home with their families. And we took them to the garden and taught them how to plant seeds, and it was just so fun.
Yeah, I know. I had a lot of fun when we would collaborate, and it was fun to, we would tie in with the PBS Kids game or story or something with whatever you were cooking.
Oh, yes.
And the kids always seemed to really like that. But what was your favorite presentation from the last year?
From the last year, oh goodness, there's so many. I don't know, gosh, I love working with kids. That's especially like teenagers. So we actually have been making meals for the teen center here in Knox County. It's a fairly new program as well. And at the end of last school year, we went there and we had a presentation with the Asian food market, and they came in and they taught us how to make fried rice, and they were so great to work with those teenagers, and they just loved that. You can tell that these kids really want to learn more about how to cook for themselves and get that independence.
Yeah, well, who doesn't,
Yeah.
I know you post a lot on social media as well, and sometimes you're telling about events, but also you have little tutorials and little quick tips and things like that. And so you're trying to make it accessible to everyone. But do you have plans to do anything different on social media? Or are you going to continue doing what you do? And tell me what that is.
Yeah, so I'm really trying to make some plans for social media and create some very useful content, which is what I'm trying to do with the Community Learning Kitchen, is create content that people can use. And so I'm working on a how-to series, Learn to Cook in 60. So we'll have one video a week for 60 seconds. It's just an aspect of learning how to cook, whether it's learning what boiling is or blanching or how to cook rice in 60 seconds. Everybody has 60 seconds. And then as well as featuring some more recipe ideas for the family that are easy, quick, inexpensive for your family.
Right. I know sometimes you see a recipe and it has do this, and it's like, well, then you have to stop and go look up what that even means. I mean, some people probably know, but you never know. So I think it'd be nice to have a local resource, and if they're just watching your entertaining little videos, and then they can remember that for future recipes.
Yeah, hopefully.
I know you also had not only presentations, but you kind of did some adult cooking classes as well, like date night series.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about those.
Yeah, so last year we did a few cooking classes at the Pantheon. That was more of like a fundraiser. So we would sell tickets, people would come, and we'd have a cooking class. And we would do all kinds of things. We had a date night, we did a charcuterie class. They were just so much fun. And by the end, like, people were just loving them, and it was getting hard to include as many people as we could, and we'd love to bring back something like that, but more on a community scale so that everybody can access those and be able to participate in those. So,
Right.
So we'll definitely try to have more of those in the future.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think when you presented them as, did you have one around Valentine's Day?
Yeah, we did.
It was like a Valentine's Day date night, and I thought that's so
Yes.
perfect because, you know, around here there aren't as many opportunities like that, and so you have to go to Bloomington or Terre Haute or Evansville to try to get some of those experiences. And I think not only with the adult cooking classes, but also these kid presentations, you are providing something for our community, you know, that we've not had before. And it's a benefit that the community, you know, it seems like you would have to live farther away or in a bigger city to get that. So that's got to be a fun part of your job, knowing that you're bringing this aspect and education to kids and adults, you know, that haven't had it before, maybe. So, and I know I have fun when we present together. So it's you know, figuring out what works, and when you're moving forward, doing other things. So what do you have plans to spread out further in the future, or are you staying local to Vincennes? What's your plan for that?
I mean, Knox County is quite a large county, and so there's other areas that we haven't even been able to touch. So we've done a lot with the schools here in Vincennes, but we would love to reach out to South Knox, North Knox, areas in Bicknell as well. You know, those are places that we can cover and really also have some impact.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I think, and it's went over so well here in Vincennes that, you know, maybe people a year ago would have not known, you know, who you were or what you guys were doing, and through events and through social media now, I'm sure everyone is excited to learn more. So I think, and like you talked about, when you give a presentation to a group of kids, it's not like you can never present to that group again. Like cooking and health, like there's so many options, so you know, so many different things that you can do. Do you have like certain ingredients that you try to use? Do you try to like pick in season vegetables or native plants, or is there any kind of guidelines you have to follow from the USDA?
Not generally. We don't use the USDA guidelines specifically, but just overall, just using whole foods in our recipes, making sure that we're not using any processed foods. That's our major guideline, and just eating local, fresh produce. You know, we have access to so many local vendors here who sell fresh produce, organic produce, and also just finding those things that are really nutrient-dense foods, high quality proteins, good fats, and just whole grains. Those are really what we really try to focus our recipes around. Absolutely.
And I know sometimes, you know, people might think the healthier ingredients might be a little bit more expensive. Do you have any tips for that, or ways that people can get that cheaper? I know, you know, obviously gardening, but there is some expense in that to begin with and things.
Yes,
but
that's
what
true.
are your tips for people who are looking, you know, not to go out and spend their whole paycheck on healthy ingredients?
Yeah, no, I get you. It is, money's tight these days for a lot of people, and we want to stay in a budget, especially when we're cooking, but we also want to invest in our health, because if we don't now, then we're going to probably invest a lot more in the future in our health with chronic diseases that are on the rise. But one thing that you can do is attend your local farmer's market. You can get produce there for really inexpensive, and it's fresh, it's organic, you know where it's come from, you're really close to the source, which is so great. You'll get a lot more nutrients when you buy closer to the source. Also, I do a Fresh Picks of the Week on Thursdays, where I highlight some of the deals of the week in our local area that are whole foods that you can buy for a cheaper price. So it's like, the deals are there, you just have to look for them. Sometimes they get crowded by the things that you shouldn't be eating. But so I try and highlight those as well to help you out.
Yeah. I know, Tiffany, we've been talking about so many of the fun events that you've done so far. What events do you have coming up?
Oh my goodness. So we are just starting to scratch the surface of what we are going to do this year. But one thing we're looking forward to is collaborating with the Little Hill Flower Farm. And we're going to do a charcuterie night there, kind of like a date night, pick flowers, and we'll do a live demo there. As well as we're going to be doing the Vincennes PBS Kids Day with you guys. We're excited about that as well. And also homecoming is coming up at the end of next month. Right, yes. And we're going to try and be there at the parade as well and have something fresh and fun for the people there attending the parade as well. So,
awesome.
Yeah, just check out our Facebook and Instagram and to keep up to date on where we're going to be and what events you can attend, as well as private events.
Awesome. Okay, well, Tiffany, thank you for joining me today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Learning what you guys do there at the Community Learning Kitchen. And I'm excited to see what you do going forward.
Oh, thank you so much, Allyson. We appreciate it.
For more information or to find the next healthy food preparation presentation, you can find a link on our website.